Identify each of the data points.
So look, guys, calculate your slope. Hopefully everybody got a negative one. It's obviously negative. Then you pick either point, to be honest. I was trying to point out that some of you guys, when you do this, you can just pick those because that's x1, y1. But it doesn't matter which point you pick. The line doesn't care because it goes through an infinite number of points. So I picked x1 is 16 and y1 is 7. I plug that in. And there's my slope. Now what do I put in there for these guys? Nothing. Because they're the ones that represent all the points in the line. So you leave them as y and x. So mine is really, really, really gross. So I get plus 160 over 13. I add 7 over. Let's see what is that. 191. So I get negative 10 13ths x plus 251 over 13, I think. I am not saying that anybody had to get that. I'm saying that's something you could get based on what points you get. So this is a little bit of remembering lines. This is a little bit of working with fractions. Yes? This you're supposed to do just the way I did. The next step is going to be letting the calculator do it for us. Yeah. Cool. What is 251 divided by 13? It's like 19 points in there. Yeah. So my y-intercept, I think, is 19.31. That's not too bad. It's like 19. It's like 20. I'm not too far off. Now, what kind of slopes did you guys get? Who got like a -1 slope? Anybody? -1?
Well, negative 1.6.
Who got something that's less than negative, like negative 4/3 or negative 5 over 7? So that's all right. So that's bigger than -1. Negative 0.8. Sure. So last time I did this, I got negative 0.8. I don't know.
Negative 0.78.
Negative 0.78. Ooh, I like it. But everybody should definitely be kind of dancing around -1 in that area, your slopes, hopefully. And your y-intercept should be around 19, 20, somewhere there. Yes, ma'am.
22.
Say again? So I'm going to get LCD between these two. 7 over 1, so 7 times 13 is 91. Plus 160 is 251. 7 over 1, I need LCD. Multiply by 13. Yep. I can't add 116 13ths to 7 once. They're not like terms. All fraction LCD is like terms. So I'm not going to teach you fractions right now. All right. So let's talk about how to do this step. And to do this step right now, I'm going to go back to this, on the back of this. You guys see I gave an example of the beers and the grades. So what I want you to do, everybody's got a calculator now, put L1 and L2, beers and grades. Do you think you want to sort this? Do you want to sort it?
No.
Hell no. Because then you kind of lose what beers go with which grade. Do not ever sort this. Does everybody understand what's happening right now? Put L1, L2, that data, it's on the other side of that other handout. Okay, got it. It's always nice when you end at the right place. As you're entering it, you can kind of make sure that you're in the right place. Okay. You guys finish that up.
Where'd you get L3 and L4?
I think they were in there before.
Where'd you get L3 and L4?
What do you mean? Sorry. What?
Numbers in L3 and L4.
They were just there?
Uh,
If they bother you, stop bothering, Brandon. Alright. So one thing that you're going to have to do by hand that should not be a big deal is you're going to have to plot in the homework. You got to plot points. Oh, sure. But the calculator costs a lot of money. You should be able to plot these freaking points for us. I'm going to tell it to look at it like X, Y. This is an X, Y table. You guys see that? L1, L2 is X, Y table. If I have statistics stuff that I want the calculator to plot, can anyone see somewhere good to go?
Step plot.
There, stat plot. Yeah, leading questions, Jeff. So right up there, right above y equals is stat plot. Y equals is where you would put stuff for it to graph a normal function. Stat plot is where I can go to make it do a scatter plot, which is what I want. So everybody do this for me. Hit second y equals. Everybody have this on their screen that's playing along with me? Yes, no, maybe so. Everybody do this. Hit number 4, enter. Just so I know everybody's starting with no plots turned on, so I don't get any other freakiness. We turn off all the plots. Now go back to stat plot. And everybody select number 1. Everybody, bam, you should see this. If you have the older calculator, it's not going to give you an option for color, because there are no options for color in the older one. But that's okay. What do you do for us? Do you notice that the calculator could do box plots and histograms? Ha ha ha. Sorry. Now you know the true depth of my caring for your understanding, actually, to be honest. But yeah, if you want to look up how to do that shit, go ahead.
What did he mean?
We want to do this first thing. We want to do the scatter plots. Everybody should pick the first plot. I think the older one, it's kind of like bigger pictures. I still want the very first one. And then it's going to ask me, where's my x's? L1. Where's my y's? L2. How's everybody doing? Say again? It's this. Oh, I'm sorry. So it's second whiteboards. That's where it says stat plot. And hit enter for the first one. Let's turn it on. You see how it's already in L1, L2? You're golden. Everybody good? And then you get to pick. Oh. Put it in there. Oh, you haven't picked the right. Yeah. Make sure also, everybody, that you turn this on. You gotta go hover over on and hit enter so it's highlighted. So I should do the same thing. Bam. Make sure your on is highlighted. Make sure you got the scatter plot picked. Make sure you got L1, L2. And then you get to pick, are you a square? Are you positive? Are you a big dot? Are you a little speck of dust in the universe? I'm always going to be the square, obviously. Teach math. So I'm going to do square. And then if you got a newer one, you can pick your color. Navy sounds fine to me. Now watch. Is everybody decent so far? Now if you don't turn that off, if you have your own calculator and you don't turn that off, it's always going to be sitting there waiting for you. Because on the test, on the final, you're going to have to come up and show me your scatter plot and your line of best fit, which I'll show you in a bit, how to get that up there. It's going to be a part of the test. So if you can't do it, you lose points for that part. Yay, now hit graph. Everybody hit graph and be dissatisfied. That's bullshit, but poor little calculator doesn't know what I want. If I hit graph, it's just going to show me where the window is currently. What's really nice is, see the zoom function? You can do stuff like zoom in, and a zoom box is nice. You can make a little box and make it zoom in there. You can just zoom in or zoom out. But I want to do something very specific for this class. Can somebody scroll through the zoom list?
Yeah.
And actually, if you have the newer one, it shows up right away. I think. Yep. You see the one that's good for us? No what? Zoom stat. In number 9, you can scroll down to it. All right, it's down. Please. Everybody with me? Zoom. Should be number 9 for most of you. Zoom stat. Let me know if you can't get this to show up. Yeah, it was good. Zoom. 9. You just hit 9, or you can scroll down to it. Oh, and so, all right, if you get this error, oh, your syntax, that's what you go to. Dim mismatch means your lists don't match up. Yeah, that was longer than that one. Oh, so you missed something. Just watch.
Mine doesn't give me R or R squared.
No.
Right.
You hit 9.
For the next step.
Oh, because you don't have to scan a one. Hit 2. No. It's on here.
What the hell?
Yeah. But which one did you put in? Did you sort them? Never. If you sort them, then that kind of like it breaks the relationship.
So
The
weird.
number of years is not with the right grade anymore. See, this is all one person. If you sort this list now, that a person now has 2 people different data. Everything's going to be correlated in the universe then. Everybody else okay? Oh, poor little counter. Everybody else okay? Now you might have little dots or whatever the hell you picked with plus lines. Doesn't that look a lot like? Try to make it look a lot like the picture on the front, the years and grades, the realistic one. Yep, there you go. That's the intent.
That is saying.
So, we already know, what did we say about this one? Is it a strong correlation? Tell me. Is it strong?
No.
The hell no. It's not strong. It does seem to have a negative, so it should be weakly negatively correlated. So the R should be negative, but should it be close to -1 or close to 0? Close to 0. The stronger the relationship, the closer to 1 or -1 it's going to be. The weaker, the closer to 0 it's going to be. 0 means no correlation. So if it's weak, it's really close to 0. If it's stronger, it should be really close to -1 or 1. How are we all doing? You guys okay? This is nice. It's not that crazy compared to some other stuff we've done. All right, so here's how we actually have the calculator do the work for us. I do want to, I have to show you, you know me, we're not going to use this, all right? But I do have to show you the formula for this, just so you can see what I am sparing you from. Where are you, little formula? Formula? Oh, here it is. Beautiful. All right. I was gonna say you're ready, but you're not.
Hey, won't you look at that?
Not freeze. Focus. Focus. Still there. Focus. It doesn't want to look at it. The math. I'll leave it
I don't want to
blurry,
look at
kind
it
of make it
either.
better. All right. I to be honest, I used to make students do this. Yeah. It's awesome. The reason I really don't make you go through this is it's just really busy work at this point. Can you see? You know, you got X's and Y's, right? Now, I don't know if you guys realize the bottom here is related to standard deviation, to be honest. There's a whole other way to do, I just have to say this real quick. Remember how variance was, right? you can actually work with this until you get it to the point, oh, it's been too long now, Jeff. Let's see if I remember. Something like this, I think. See this top piece? See how it looks? It's a little blurry, but you can see. So why should that make sense? This is like a two-dimensional standard deviation. It's got the spread in the x's and the spread in the y's. They're both a part of the formula. That makes sense. And the rest of the formula is involving how do those work together. And now I'm not going to go deeper into that formula at all. That's it.
That's supposed to be the same, you said, as the second part? How does the...
Well, it's like for a population, to be honest. And then you multiply top and bottom by n.
Oh, there's the end down there, got it.
Yeah. And see how the n ends up on the top?
Yeah.
Square root? All right. It's not the same as a part of that formula. That's all I want to point out. So forget that formula. You're going to let the calculator do that formula. It likes to add stuff. That's good for it. So here's how we do this on the calculator. Holy crap, that's really good. That scares me. All right. Everybody hit second, quit, get out of there. So now, you got your data in the lists. And remember how we did one bar stats? Everybody pretend like you're going to do that. Where do you go? How do you get there? Stat. Cal. Now, which piece? Now, hopefully it's really obvious. Yeah. The one that's got the equation. Now, what's really funny is they hardwired it. If you don't want A to be the slope, you can let B be the slope. This is really, really, really stupid. So here, if it said A equals 2, B equals 1, here it would say A equals 1, B equals 2. So don't ask me why they did that. I don't know. So we're going to use number 4, linear regression, and this is the line of best fit. So let's everybody do number 4. 4. Now, the newer one, I'm going to tell it L1, L2. If you have an older one, it defaults to L1, L2. You just have to hit enter. When you see LinReg on the screen? Yes?
My L1 and L2 doesn't change. It's just L3 and L4.
Oh, so you put yours in L3, L4? Wherever you put your data, you put that here and here. See? So mine's in L1, L2.
It'll default to 3 and 4 instead.
No.
I don't
It defaults to 1 and 2.
I know when you go to...
So if you have it in different ones,
Mine
put
just does
L3, comma, L4
It
in.
doesn't give me the option.
Hit stat,
No,
number 5.
because it doesn't give you R or R squared.
See how it's set up editor? Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no, yours doesn't, so I checked it.
Yeah, enter. Yes? Well, let me get there myself. Yes. Okay, just a minute. I love you guys. I'm like companies that they can't do it at all, and you're like, you've done it already. What's your problem? All right, let me catch up to you.
No, yeah.
Now, of course. What's your problem?
I don't have R.
All right, okay, good. It's because yours is not as good as mine. No. There's a stupid little setting. For some reason, I don't know why it's ever turned off. We're going to turn it on because all it does is give you more information. I think it's a holdover from the days when the calculators had really poor processing power. So they had to, if you wanted to have it work more efficiently, you can cut off some of the extra information. So give me a second. Is everybody to the screen where you can at least see y equals ax plus b? Is everybody there? Maybe you don't have r showing up. Anybody have r showing up? A few of you guys? Especially if you borrow one of my calculators, probably. Because they're all from previous semesters and they've already been turned on. All right. So how do we get your calculator woke? We... Sorry, I just wanted to use that word once. I've never used that word before. It seemed to be an appropriate time. All right. You don't have to do this if R is already showing. If you want to do it, correct? You only have to do this once if this is your calculator. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit second 0. And it's a catalog of everything this calculator can do. Second 0. Just do it and trust me. Second 0. Okay. Has everybody got this showing up?
Yep.
Everybody see where the D is, the green, the letter D right there. For me, it's above my x to the negative 1. It should be there for most of you guys. Hit the x to the negative 1 button, and it's going to go to the D part of the list. So there's a day of the week function in this calculator. Just, you can look confused about it and then move on. I don't know what the inputs are, but apparently you can put a year in and a week and a whatever, and it'll tell you what day of the week it was. What day of the week was I born, calculator?
Wednesday.
You can just ask Alexa nowadays.
Hell yeah.
So Alexa will say, I don't give a shit. No. Is everybody here with me that's trying to do this? Everybody good? Scroll down until you see where it says diagnostic on.
Uh-huh.
Diagnostic on. On. Hit enter. Enter. And that's really anticlimactic. It always is. Is everybody? No, it's the same thing. But this is just, this makes a lot of sense. You have an 83, 84, you don't need it off. It doesn't make any sense. The processor is powerful enough to handle it. Then you hit, now to go back, hit stat, calc, number 4. And now everybody should have R showing up. By the way, I did have somebody just ask me, it'd be great if I gave you all the instructions. Okay. Right? Right. I don't know. Did I put them in right? Have other people getting the same numbers as me?
Yeah.
It's very, very easy to mis-enter something. Yes.
What did you say after day of the week?
To do what, sorry?
What did you say that we're talking after day of the week?
Go down to where it says diagnostic on. And then hit enter, enter.
I remember.
Wait, I clicked enter on day of the week.
What?
I clicked enter on day of the week.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. Because it's never
You only say this once, we're good.
if you're like, well, click this. I would have been like,
People kill me.
Oh, you had. Oh, oh, you didn't green red. Why'd you do that? Alright. Everybody good? Everybody has R showing up?
Yeah.
Does this verify what we were saying earlier? What's R? Poor little dude. Negative 0.33, right? 339. That's closer to 0 than it is to negative 1. So it is weak negative correlation. All right. You guys want to take a break?
No, finish it. Finish it.
Overruled.
No.
Well, real quick. Last 2 things, then we'll take a break. What's the very first 3 things it tells you?
A, B, and R squared.
AX plus B, just to show you what the slope is. So they call their slope A, just to be different from math people. What's the slope of our line, though? What's the slope of our line? Negative 2.535. All right, so let's write this down. So y equals negative 2.535x. And what's the y-intercept? Yeah. That's 89.831. So now, if you go to y equals, which makes sense, because that's y equals. You alright? What's up? Real quick. If you do this negative, remember you have a negative and a minus. Negative 2.535. X, there's your X button right there. See the X button? That's your all-purpose variable button right there. That's your X button. 2.535x plus 89.831. Graph.
Dang.
And that's the line of estimate for that thing. Alright, so one kind of error you can get is invalid dim, which sounds like the calculator trying to insult you, but it's Invalid dimension. It means something's wrong with the lists of data. Dim mismatch means the two lists don't match up. Did you put the data into the lists?
Yeah, I have to.
All right, let me see what's wrong with that. Oh, you just didn't put the X in, right? So just do it in a straight line. It's just a number. X. So you got some weird ass numbers. Oh, yeah. All right. So you're definitely in a strange place. All right. You were in the wrong mode. Who's been using this calculator?
Is there a back click? You guys, when you hit mode, right, but when you go to the screen, you go to the
Watch this all of chapter 12. It's gonna be like chapter 11.
Try what?
No, I haven't looked at it.
Oh, yeah. Y, so you can plot the line, and you got the plug this in. It's negative 0.5.
Yeah. Is it a strong correlation?
No.
Alright guys, anybody else need help?
Weak negative. It's right here. The equation of line is y equals the number x and x plus b. X is right here.
Oh, you're doing natural log.
The equation of line is y equals fx plus b, and the m is the slope, which goes naturally. And then the x goes right here, and then plus b, this is your b right here.
Alright guys, let's take a break. Sorry. Come back at 5, Phil.
Yep.